They learned that diplomatic meetings were held in Delhi after Maduro's capture. Sources tell Republic TV that ambassadors of South American nations held a meeting in the national capital, that is in Delhi, and ambassadors met to strategize on response to the America's move. And this was on the capture of Maduro. Latin American ambassadors are in a huddle in Delhi over Maduro's capture. So that's the latest update we have right now, as we see that Maduro and his wife plead not guilty. Maduro is in the United States. He's being questioned. And we now understand that the Latin American countries' ambassadors in the national capital in Delhi, they are all in a huddle. Abhishek Kapoor joins us live on the broadcast. For more, Abhishek, well, clearly we see that there is a turmoil, a state of turmoil in Venezuela, and now the Latin American countries are coming together. In Delhi, there was a meeting. Tell us more details about that, please.
Well, yes, that's what we are hearing, that the ripples of what has happened in Venezuela are coming right up to New Delhi in terms of the diplomatic community and the ambassadors and mission heads of LATAM countries, the Latin American countries, which includes Cuba, which includes Venezuela, which includes other countries in the immediate neighborhood, Brazil included. They are meeting and they are jointly strategizing how to carry out their mission tasks here in New Delhi. How to get New Delhi involved is what we are hearing. They want a stronger statement to come in from New Delhi against this action of the United States. Of course, New Delhi would take its own call, has already taken a call in terms of the kind of statements we have seen coming out. But an attempt is being made to sort of put pressure on New Delhi to perhaps take a stronger position. And to that, with that objective in mind, some of the ambassadors of the LATAM countries are meeting in New Delhi today and strategizing jointly. They believe that individually and together, if they can communicate to New Delhi through the Ministry of External Affairs, that what has happened in Venezuela amounts to a breach of territorial integrity and sovereignty of a nation, which is equivalent to what has happened in Europe, for example, with Russia's war on Ukraine. Then, of course, they believe, we have spoken to some sources, they believe that they can help New Delhi evolve its position. As I said, they are doing their job in their capacity as representatives of their respective countries in New Delhi. The Ministry of External Affairs and India would take our own position based on how our interests are taken care of in the geography, both in terms of geoeconomics and geopolitics. Remember, we are not a very big purchaser of Venezuelan oil, and it's minuscule. And to that extent, we have seen two statements coming in from the MEA. The first one on the first day itself was just about asking the Indian community present in Venezuela to take care of themselves and to be in touch with our mission in Caracas in case they find some difficulty, and to ask Indians here in India to not travel to Venezuela unless absolutely necessary. Subsequently, we had another statement calling for restraint on both the sides. So very pacifist statement coming in from the Ministry of External Affairs. And I've spoken to sources in the MEA also, and they say that this is an evolving situation. So it's not necessary that we have to take a position in its entirety in the immediate aftermath of the event. As they evolve, India's position also would evolve, but as of now, we are limiting it to that. So I think in that backdrop, this meeting of LATAM ambassadors really gains significance, because it seems that those respective countries want India to take a stronger position, and that's why they're jointly strategizing here.
Right, because absolutely, as you mentioned, it was a very pacifist statement, and also it's also being called a very, very measured statement, Abhishek, the stance that has been taken by New Delhi. And if you could just shed some light on the ties between Venezuela and, Caracas and New Delhi, and of course, how it balances with what India, again, is going through a very, very, evolving sort of a relationship with Washington, D.C. at the moment.
Well, yes, Rakshita. So that's what I said, that what position India takes is essentially determined by not just by the pulls and pressures. They will work their own way, but also by what are India's interests in the geography. So as I said, our import of Venezuelan oil was minuscule, remains minuscule, and we have to triangulate our position vis-a-vis not just the United States, but remember there is this peculiar situation of we dealing with a White House, which is not just mercurial, that's a mild statement, but which is really going hammer and tongs, and our trade deal is stuck, and things are not moving. So I think all those things would have to be kept in mind even as India evolves its position, or rather calibrates it based on the developments that take place. As I have already mentioned, 2 statements have come in from the Ministry of External Affairs. None of them has actually condemned the United States for what it has done. But so is the case with Europe, for example. Nobody is condemning it strongly. So it depends on which side of the divide you are in. In the case of Europe war, also remember, India has said that we are not taking any side. We are on the side of peace. And so we have not condemned Russia, and we have, not be seen. We have not, taken a position which can be seen as fully on the side of Ukraine. So in that sense, a sense of neutrality, which is pro-peace, which is pro-status quo, is something that really comes out of India's position on these flashpoints, and that perhaps is going to remain so irrespective of whatever number of meetings or joint strategy meetings that these Latin ambassadors might have. But then, of course, this is significant that New Delhi is important enough in their calculus to be coming together, sitting together, discussing and deciding whether they can jointly plead their case with the Ministry of External Affairs and get a stronger statement, perhaps.
Right. Many thanks, Abhishek, for joining us with insights on that exclusive input that we were getting. Senior Executive Editor Abhishek Kapoor explaining to us the meeting that is going on amongst the ambassadors of Latin American countries in Delhi, and of course the position of New Delhi on the story. Let's shift our focus to the other inputs that we are gathering right now. Republic TV, in fact, is getting you these exclusive ground reports from Venezuela, tracking the situation in